Takuto Miki joins me. He's over in Japan. He's played in a whole host of countries. He's even a Mongolian champion winner. Takuto, I welcome you to the show. How are you doing?
First of all, thank you for to me here. So I'm appreciated for today. So for you, yeah, I want to spend a good time with you guys, with him. Yeah.
Absolutely. The show is based around, footballers, football coaches, football fans from across the world. So you're the
hmm
first person I'm speaking to from Japan. So that's quite a cool thing for me. So talk to us then. When you started off in Japan, in your early days playing football, was it your parents that got you into it? Was it your siblings? Who got you into football?
Um, I already started to play the football when I was 6 years old. My friends asked me, "So you want to play football with us?" And then I answered them. So yeah, of course I want. Why not? And then I when I went back to the my parents' house. I asked them, so hey, mother, father, I want to play the football with my friend. Hey, I want to join the football club. Yeah, like that.
And what's it like in Japan? Is there a lot of football clubs to be able to choose from, or are you quite limited with choices?
Um, you mean so when I was kids?
Yes, when you were a kid.
Um, Honestly, I didn't have a choice because I didn't thinking about anything. Just I wanted to play the football when I was 6 years old. Just I wanted to play with my friend. Yeah.
And what is Japan like then? For someone so young at your age, whether you've been, I think you said about 6 years old, what was Japan like growing up at that time?
What do you mean?
For you to get into football, was there a lot of options to be able to choose from? Was Japan a big footballing nation? Did a lot of people
Yeah.
play football?
Yeah. I think Japanese football coach is really good, and yeah.
When you decided to take on football as a professional player in Japan, what age were you when you decided you were probably good enough to be able to go and do that?
So when I was 15 years old, I wanted to play the Germany, but as you know, it's impossible, right? Under 18 years old, foreign player cannot play the Europe. That's why I was decided to play the Japan high school. But at that time, already wanted to play as a professional football player in the future. Yeah.
So you had the idea from quite young then, and Japan was obviously an eye opener for you. Decided that you did want to take it on professionally. What was the first team that decided that you could be where you are today in the position, which is a centre forward?
Um, my first country, the Croatia.
Yeah,
So many Asia player, also many Japanese player want to play the Europe. That's why. So I wanted to play the Asia and on Europe. That's why. So I started to play the Croatia for division. Yeah.
Japan though is quite a big footballing nation. You know, you got decent leagues over there. You've got a decent standard of football. But
Mhm.
if you so let's say you continue to play Japanese football into the highest divisions, where would you see yourself moving when you reach that goal?
Um, Before I graduate high school, so I already understand I couldn't become a football player. I mean the J1, J2. I already understood it's impossible to become a professional football player in Japan because the Japanese football quality is also really high, really high. That's why. So yeah, I want to try to go there. I want to try to play in another country here.
And you were in Japan. You were in, I think it was Okasa Academy. I'm not good with Japanese names, but I think that's how you pronounce it, somewhere around there. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. What were the
Uh,
coaches and teammates like of that age? And what age were you at the academy?
Honestly, I didn't play the academy. I played the local club when I was 15, and after then I was playing the high school club. Yeah, only this career in Japan.
And yeah, and who was the coaches that decided, that you could be a professional footballer and really pushed you on to be doing that?
Mm-hmm. Pardon?
Who were the coaches that well, were the coaches the ones that decided that you could go ahead and make it as a professional?
Culture.
coaches, the instructors?
So in Japan, so in the Japanese football league and other countries, it doesn't matter to me was the high school. Just I wanted to play as a professional football player. I didn't think anything that time.
And looking back at it, was that a bit of a risky thing to have done? Because it's hard for you to think I'm only going to be a professional footballer and just have your mind set on that.
Hmm.
Is that correct? You were thinking a bit. You were saying to us that you only wanted to be a professional footballer. You couldn't be
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
else. Okay.
yeah.
So you decided to leave Japan at the age of what age did you decide to leave Japan to go into play in Croatia?
So as you know, so Japanese football, the league is already now getting high. That's why. So when I was 18, I already understood myself. I couldn't become a professional football player in Japan. That's why. So if I cannot be professional football player, I want to try. I wanted to try to go to Europe to play the football. Yeah, that's why I asked the coach, I mean the high school coach. So want to play the Europe. I want to go any country is fine to me. That's why. So give me the chance. Yeah. After
And
that,
what was the coach's reaction to that when you said I don't want to be in Japan, I only want to play in Europe? What did he say to that?
no, just I was a feeling like that. I didn't thinking about it anything. Just I wanted to play.
Hmm. So you moved to Croatia after
Yes.
Japan, right? How
Yeah.
did you move to Croatia? Was it basically, did you just go over there and ask people to sign you? I mean, how did you get the move over there?
It was really hard to me because I'm it's only just high school player, and then I asked the coach, "Hey, I'm serious to play the Europe. That's why. So can you help to me? Can you find any agent to me?" Yeah. After then, yeah,
And so you found an agent, and then they moved you over to Croatia.
yeah.
What was the feeling like to leave home, to leave Japan, to go to a new country?
Um, First day, I mean, when I reached to the glacier, I was already so excited, super excited. But yeah, I was super excited, but I didn't speak English or anything. That's why. So every day I was feeling like so lonely.
What is the
Yeah,
culture like in Croatia? Is the food obviously going to be different? What was your favorite Croatian bit of food?
and country is really good country, and as you know, really beautiful country.
Hmm.
Everyone speak English. That's why. Yeah.
What was the food like in Croatia?
Food is a little different to Japan, but
Yeah.
that point was a little difficult to me. But it was no bad
What was your
to me.
favorite Croatian food?
Pizza. I already understand it's no good. It's no good to me
Yeah.
to
So
the food
was that a
player.
cheat meal? You had to have that once in a while.
Yeah, but sometimes I think no, but
There's no
yeah.
option but to have the pizza because it just looks too good. So in Croatia, you moved there. What division were you playing in at that time? Was it the third tier,
Fourth division
fourth
in
division?
the
Okay,
class.
and
Yeah.
that's professional.
50-50
Semi.
semi-professional, I guess. Yeah.
And I'm guessing you were a professional at the time, right? Because of the age.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you leave Japan after you said that you wanted to go and play in Europe, and almost all of a sudden you're now a professional in Croatia. So if you look at
Yeah.
it from that perspective, what were you thinking to yourself that you've kind of made it already just after a few months of asking to leave Japan?
Um, as so my feeling was like this is the last chance to me when I reach a cliche. That's why. So that time, so always I pushing myself. Need to fight. Need to more. Need to train hard. Yeah.
And Croatia, I mean, the weather is going to be quite similar to Japan, right? It's going to be really hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were used to the hot weather in Japan, so that wouldn't have been a problem adjusting to the Croatian weather. What was the main difference that you had to change in your personal life that meant you were in Croatia, no longer in Japan?
About weather, about food is it's it was a not too big problem to me,
Hmm.
but I didn't go. I didn't go to the university.
Mm.
I decided to play in another country. This point is little problem in Japan, Japanese culture.
Really?
Every
It's the
month,
same.
yeah.
Really?
Every mother, father try to say need to go to university, but I already decided to play the Europe. I didn't go to the university. Yeah, that's why. So I feeling was like so I don't have chance anymore. So this is last chance to me. Yeah.
And what was the reaction of your mother and father to that, saying that you didn't want to go to university?
So obviously they say to me, "No, hey, are you serious? What are you thinking about it? Hey, you cannot be like that."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and and what did they want you to study in university, or what would you have studied in university if you didn't go down the professional footballer route?
Um, Still I don't know. I don't know, but after professional football player, if I have a time, so I want to go university. I want to study something. Yeah, but
What
I
would you
don't know yet.
What would you study? I mean, obviously, you say you don't know, but like now, if you had to go, if there was a university degree right now, what would you say that you wanted to have?
Now,
Yeah.
um, I want to play like more. I want to study like a more body.
Okay. So you want to be
Body.
like a sports scientist?
Yeah, sports for the sports like a physio,
Okay.
like yeah,
Nice, nice. So you were in Croatia, the fourth tier, and you were there for, was it a season you were there for?
yeah,
And what was that like? Your first insight into professional background? Because you said that the league was 50-50, half professional, half
yeah,
semi-pro.
yeah,
Was your
exactly.
were your teammates all professional as well?
No, some players.
Mm.
So before a training, going to the some job. Somebody work in the restaurant.
Mm.
Somebody work in the school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
But because you were full time, did you train a bit more than them?
me.
Yeah. Did you train more because you were professional full time?
Yeah.
But that,
So
go on.
and then so I had really too many time when I was a glacier because only 2 hours training every day. That's why in the morning I went to the gym. Sometime go to the running. Yeah.
But that was quite a good thing for you because this is your first route into the professional game. So it's quite good to see that um, all of a sudden you can train however you want. Basically, a very similar schedule to Premier League players, Championship players. So it's good to see. So Croatia, do you remember your first game, the debut game in Croatia?
Yeah. So before the game, I mean before the first game, so I was a little nervous. So because the first game, I mean as a senior team,
Mm.
that's why. So I was a little nervous, but I scored a goal. I mean the first game. That's why. So that time I already how to say it, decided I will play as a professional football player. Yeah.
And how did you find it adjusting to you? I mean, you've gone from Japan playing with people probably quite similar to your age, probably 18, 19 years old, to now going and playing against 25-year-olds. So, what was that main difference? Was it the physicality? Was it the speed?
Um, I guess like a mentality.
Mm.
Mentality point is a little different.
And what is the difference between your mentality as that 18-year-old to the men's mentality of 25, 26?
So for me, about me, so if I was making a mistake, so I was like, so like emotional. Hey,
Mm.
why you
Yeah,
not give
yeah.
me the pass? Hey, why I cannot play? So this point is, it's not good as a professional football player, but 25, 26 player, the more who has a good career player before, and everyone say like, accept. Yeah,
Mm.
that point is a little different.
So, because you've been in that environment and you're only still 21 years old, you've now understood that making mistakes is where you learn the most, right?
Yeah,
So, Croatia,
obviously.
you scored a goal there, and I mean, on your debut game, how did the overall season go? Did you overperform, underperform as a player yourself, but also as the team?
I played only half season. I
Hmm.
played 40 game and I scored 7 goal and then 3 assists.
Hmm.
But I was a make sure, so it was a no but for the first season. Yeah.
Hmm. And you found it quite good in terms of getting used to everything. I mean, it was
Yeah,
really, because
yeah.
I speak to a lot of professionals, and they often tell me that it's hard to adjust to firstly a different country, different football
Mm.
team, different experiences. But you did it at such a young age that you're now becoming used to doing it. So you decided to leave Croatia. Why?
Mhm. Um, this question is already simple to me. Just I wanted to play the like a semi-professional, professional category. That's why I was
A-
decided to play.
And the Croatian team, they didn't want to keep you.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you decided to leave, and that's obviously you went in straight after high school into Croatia, and then Croatia to Mongolia. Why?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Why did you leave Croatia?
So first of all, so I wanted to move to the like Division 3, the 2, but Division 3, the 4 club is a little different visa, you know. This
Hmm.
point is really hard for the player. That's why so I already accept so I can now play the Division 3 the next season. And then so that time I already understand I need to decided to play the next challenge. And then I asked to the Japanese agent, I want to play the Asia, and then he bring me the Mongolia, the club. Yeah.
And do you remember that time that you signed in Mongolia? What was that like as a person to now go for two more clubs? But now you're in Mongolia, you've come off the plane. What was that feeling like?
You mean when I got the offer from Mongolia?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's no good story, but I cannot say in the public. But I didn't know that well. So about Mongolia football, when I got the offer from Mongolia, from my agent, hey, why the Mongolia? I didn't want to go. Why I need to play the Mongolia? Yeah, that time I remember now. Yeah.
And how did you change your mind from going to you didn't want to go to Mongolia to now going and playing in Mongolia?
Um, it was a very hard time to me. I was thinking about it. So every day, every moment. But for my part, for my heart, so I wanted to play as a professional football player. That's why I decided to play the Mongolia.
Was that the only offer you got then? There was no other option. It was just Mongolia.
Yeah.
So when you went to Mongolia and you've travelled over there from, I'm presuming it would have been Croatia, and you went over to Mongolia, you came off the plane. Was there press there? Was there pictures getting taken? What was happening when you arrived in Mongolia?
No, nobody come the airport. Nobody come stadium. You know. Yeah.
I mean, do you remember the first time seeing the stadium and the facilities?
Yeah. I'm still remember to the first time in the Mongolia.
Mm.
It was a lady cold in Mongolia, so I was feeling like so hey, cannot to play the football like that. Yeah.
You may remember, jumping ahead a bit, you played with Hossein Eliahahi. He's a striker. He's Australian, Iranian.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He's still really good friends. So sometimes he called me, "Hey Takuto, what are you doing?" Sometimes I call him, "Hey, Hasi, what are you doing?" Like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
still a really good relationship.
because I interviewed him a few months ago,
Oh,
so it's
really?
quite nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice to see this. He said that he played his debut game in Mongolia in
Mhm.
minus 18 degrees. He said the pitch was completely frozen. He said it was freezing cold. Was your debut
Mm.
the same? Was it really cold and was it really not great conditions?
um. So like cold place is the first time to me in my life because in Japan, I mean the Osaka is not too cold. That's why so I was a little surprised when I reached to the Mongolia. I mean the Ulaanbaatar. Yeah.
What's Mongolia like as a country?
Um. About what? Like everything.
Yeah, everything. Just tell us about Mongolia and what you experienced.
Mongolia is a really good country. I was really comfortable to live the Mongolia. So everyone speak English and then food is also good. Yeah, and then loom, like best loom is everything clean. That's why. So for the Japanese, I guess that the good country. Yeah.
What was your favorite food in Mongolia?
Um, sheep,
Uh-huh.
sheep. You know sheep.
Yeah, I think we have lamb. I think that's the same thing. But yeah, was it just sheep in soup or what was it?
Sheep soup, yeah. That time the first time to me in my life.
Is that considered a healthy dish? Is that what footballers should be eating over in Mongolia?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've gone from pizza in not in Italy, in Croatia, to sheep soup over in Mongolia,
Mhm.
and you played for. Tell me the name of the club because I'm not going to be able to say it. I'm going to try and say it, and then you can say it. Ultan Batir, is that how you say it?
Lambata.
You say it a lot better than me, a lot slicker. You joined that club, right? And there was not really an expectation to do what you did in terms
Mhm.
of where you finished at the end of the season. Talk to us
Mhm.
about that whole season. Tell us about the whole season from the first game to the last game and what happened over that duration.
In Mongolia.
Yeah.
And first game I debut, I mean the first 11, but I show already not enough the performance. And then this is the first time story to talking about someone. So after the substitution, and then I was crying in my bench, and then everyone try to say to me, so why you cry? Hey, coach is also, hey, you are really crazy. Why you crying? Yeah, I still remember the clearly.
But why were you so upset? Because you got taken off?
So this point is also I already understand no good, but before the Mongolia, so I was make sure 100% I showed a good performance because the Mongol football quality is little low. I was thinking like that. That's why. So I showed no good performance the first game. So I had the gap, the layer also my image is gap. That's why. So
So
I
so
was
you
like,
so
yeah,
you thought because you played in Croatia and Japan, essentially you were better than the footballing standard in Mongolia. So you were just a bit confused as to why you got taken off.
yeah. Obviously, the better.
Mm. So you just the whole team, the whole campaign. You played 24 games in that season. What was
Yeah.
that like to be able to go ahead and play 24 games or be involved in 24 games, traveling across Mongolia? What was that like? Because when you're in the top division of Mongolia, which you were in, to be able to go ahead and travel across the whole country, what did you see in the country that may have been an eye opener or different to you that you've seen in Croatia and Japan?
So in the season.
Yeah, when you were traveling around Mongolia, you would have seen different places. You would have seen different.
When I reached to the February,
Hmm.
and then I was a play until the July,
Hmm.
maybe 4 5 months.
Hmm. Yeah, and what I'm trying to get at is what did you see? So when you were playing different teams away from home, so you weren't playing at home, you were playing on the other side of Mongolia. What did you see that you may have not have been used to in Croatia and Japan?
Um, I don't know.
Okay, no problem. We'll move on. We'll move on. So the team scored 108 goals in that season. That's a big amount of goals. I mean, how many did you contribute to that? How many goals did you score in that season?
And then the league game and the cup game,
Hmm.
so I scored a 20 goal. Yeah.
But
So yeah,
but that's really good though. So now you've gone. That would have been your second year as a professional, and you've now
yeah.
stepped up so much. You're now scoring 20 goals in a season. What about Hosen? How many goals did he score?
Who?
Eliahahi.
No.
No, I can't pronounce his name too well. The striker that played up front from Australia.
Ah, Hasi.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I can't. On my thing it says Hosian. I think that's not how you pronounce it. My pronunciation isn't great. But how many goals did he score?
He scored though.
He scored a good amount of goals.
No, he scored no goal in
No goals.
the yeah.
Oh, really? Why was he injured?
No, because we had the seven foreigner.
Oh,
That's why. So that
yes.
time can play only for 49.
Mm. Yeah, that was
And
it.
yeah, also I got the only 30 minutes, only 45 minutes,
Mm.
and then he didn't get the long time in the Mongolia season. Yeah.
Okay. So you were then you then decided to leave Mongolia. Talk us through that process. Why did you decide to leave Mongolia?
You mean the leave to the Mongolia?
Yeah, why did you leave?
Um, Always. So I wanted to play the Indonesia. That's why. So I was trying to go to Indonesia a long time. So then I squad in the getting more. So then so one Indonesia agent called me, hey, when your contract will finish to the Mongolia with the Mongolia club, hey, if we want to come in Indonesia, we will bring a good offer to you. And I say, yeah, why not? I want to go. Yeah.
So you then moved to Indonesia, as you said, but you decided to then leave, and we'll talk about that afterwards. When you first arrived in Indonesia, again, what was that whole experience like? Again, a different climate, a different culture.
It was a really big experience into my life. And when I reached to the no before, so when I wait in the next flight, I mean the airport, and then Mongolia to Korea, Korea to Indonesia. So the club posted about me joining the club. I mean the participant party. I mean in Indonesia club. So every fans from Indonesia and they followed me and then sent me the message, hey Takuto, hey welcome to our club. Hey, so when I was a lady, so how to say, so cannot didn't accept it, no.
Mm.
So hey, why I'm getting the follower like this? So yeah, and then
So,
after that when I yeah,
so go on.
and then when I reached to the airport, so many fans was waiting for me, and then yeah, I remember still clearly. So I was a lady surprised. Yeah,
I was a bit confused about what you said there. Were you saying that the fans were positive or were they a bit rude and negative?
positive.
Oh, they were good. So this is the thing with Asian fans, and I've had a few players that play in are Malaysian, sorry, who played in
Mhm.
Indonesia, people like yourself, and I've got to say, Asians have a really good what's it called reputation for being really great. They're really good fans. They're really
Yeah, obviously.
yeah. What's your message to the Asian fans, the people that love you so dearly?
To me,
Yeah.
so welcome to our club. So we are waiting you. Hey, good luck for the season. Help us like that. So I was really like excited to play the Indonesia. Yeah.
And what was this the first time where you started to really get an eye opener as to what fans were like in football? Because we spoke about your time in Croatia and in Mongolia. You didn't really mention about the fans, but in Indonesia, there seemed to be a lot more of an
Mhm.
uprising in terms of you and your following on social media and in person.
So the Indonesia fans is really fought. I mean, really like how to say, really interested to watching the football.
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
point is sometimes good, but
Hmm.
sometimes little no good point because
Okay.
every time like so checking what I do. So when
Mm.
I go to the cafe, everyone checking the hey Takuto is cafe, this cafe. When I go to the restaurant, hey Takuto is this restaurant with someone. This point is like so I was like the stress. Yeah.
But was it because you weren't used to it? Is that what it was?
What do you mean?
You weren't. What we mentioned Croatia, we mentioned Japan, we mentioned Mongolia. You weren't used to the fans. Hey, Takuto's in the restaurant. Hey, he's in the cafe. He's here. He's here. You were never used to that. But because you went to Indonesia, everyone now
Yeah.
knows where you are at every moment.
Yeah, that time is the first time in my life. That's why so I was a little surprised because when I was a little kid, little young, and then I didn't accept. Yeah,
What was that time like in Indonesia? What was the best moment that you had?
and still I remember the clearly. So when I played the first game, I mean the friendly match in Asia, so everyone like when I touched to the pitch, and then the second half. and everyone called to me, "Hey, Takuto, Takuto," like that. So that moment, still I cannot forget it. Yeah,
The fans then did play a big part in your
yeah,
journey in
yeah,
Indonesia. Were you at the level where fans had your name on the back of their shirts
yeah. What?
in Indonesia or in Mongolia, in Croatia? Do you remember any of the fans? Because I've seen pictures with you and the fans, signing autographs, taking
Mm-hmm.
pictures with them. Did any of them like say, "Can I have your shirt, Takuto shirt"?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What's that feeling like?
So it was a really good time to me. It was a really good experience to me, but sometimes like too much.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so you like it, but there's like a limit where it's sometimes a bit annoying.
yeah, yeah.
You decided to leave Indonesia because you didn't fit in. Why did you decide to leave?
I didn't have any problem with the club, but too hard time in the Indonesia life because everyone didn't understand English, and then also the coach, also the management, so everyone didn't understand English how we speak. That's why. So I was feel like every time I'm lonely if I when I try to say the something in English, so everyone say no, I don't understand. So that time, so always I was feeling like lonely. I want to leave. I want to back to the Japan. Yeah, that time I already that time decided.
In Indonesia, what was the training ground and the stadium like? I'm because again, Vietnam and places like that have really good reputations for amazing facilities. Was it like that in Indonesia?
Like a stadium
Yeah.
is really good, but like how to say, the ground condition is a little bad.
Okay.
Like like how to say,
Bumpy.
like bumpy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what was the training ground like? The gym, the swimming pools. What was that like?
Um. Also, everything like training stadium is also good, but little like not clean. That time is
Okay.
little difficult to me.
What, why is it not clean?
Not clean.
Why didn't they clean? Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know because that sounds a bit weird. But because in Japan, I mean, they're obviously known for having really clean places, aren't they?
Yeah, that's why. So I was feeling like that.
Mm. We can actually talk about Japan now. We're going to go ahead and talk about your movings to India and other countries like that. In Japan, when away from football, what is Japan like as a country? I've never been to Japan. I'd like to go to Japan. I know it's really lively. It's really bright colors. It's really like these. There's a lot of them about there. But what is Japan like?
Uh, Japan, why? What do you mean?
In Japan, I've never been to Japan. Right? I'd
Yeah,
like to
yeah.
go to Japan.
Hmm.
What is it like so if I went to Japan, what would I see?
So now, so as you know, so many the foreigner coming to the Japan. So I mean, my hometown is also the Osaka. Everyone come to the Osaka. So that place is really good. So yeah, if you want to come,
Yeah, is it a lot of is it a very like party place? Is there a lot of a youth where they have a lot of parties?
the party place. Yeah, everyone drinking the town here.
And do you like parties?
Yeah, I love.
So we'll talk about Japan later, and we'll go ahead and talk about their football culture. You
Mhm.
decided to leave Indonesia. Tell us what
Mhm.
happened after that.
After Indonesia.
Hmm.
And after Indonesia, so I take the less time with my family, with my friends, and then after that I was awaiting the news from my agent, and then that time so my agent called me, "Hey Takuto," and then I got offer from the India, and then yeah, so that time I answered to him, so why India? India's not good impression. So I don't, if possible, I don't want to go in India. But agent told me India is a very good country, very good the quality league in Asia. That's why. So you if you can accept, you need to go to India. And then I decided to go to India.
And what was that like then? The first glimpse you had of India, the first time you saw India, what did you make of it?
That decision.
Mm.
Um, First of all, I was checking the club Instagram, and then many fans coming to the stadium. That's why. So decided
Oh,
only
so
this
so
one.
so it was the fans then that drew you in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And what were they like overall in the season that you were there? What was it? What were they like? Were they a motivator? Were they better than the Indonesian fans?
Yeah, so still the fans send me the message, Takuto, where are you? Like that. Yeah.
uh, Fans in Asia are quite something else. Something that I'm not used to over in England. Am I right in saying you played for two Indian clubs?
Hmm.
Okay, so you decided to. So talk to us about that first club in India. What
Hmm.
happened? Why did you start to become unhappy?
And I make sure I show the great performance. I mean, the first club in India.
Hmm.
And 6 game, 2 goals against top of the table club. And then, but I wanted to play like 85 minutes, 90 minutes. I know it's the selfish, but every player, so want to play the long time if possible, the 90 minutes. Also the additional time as well. That's why. So I was a feel like a stress. I was a feel like and then I tried to say, hey, why I cannot play? I showed a good performance, and I had a little problem with the coach. Yeah, and I decided to leave the club.
You mentioned that you had a problem with the coach. Was there in a changing room in a professional background? Is there often a lot of arguments? Is there some fights that usually take place?
Yeah, what me?
So the players. There's a lot of times where the players could kind of have an argument with someone else where I don't like you and they're gonna like fight and is that what happens?
No, no problem. But just I wanted to play the 90 minutes, or yeah,
And then you stayed in India to get this second
the
move in
club, right?
India.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did that come about? Was it straight away you just kind of moved over there, or was there a bit of time in between?
And then this story is a little funny. So when I left that club, I mean the Shillong Legend in the first
Mm.
club in India.
Hmm.
So I won and scored the goal against that club. That's why. So I was I feel like So I won and transfer to the another Indian club. I mean the same league, and then I was looking a new club in India. And then that coach called me, hey Takuto, why you left that club? So if we want to come, let's work together like that. And then I decided to play that club.
And did you play against your first club?
No.
No, but what would you have done if you scored against them?
And then after joining the second club, I mean the Delhi FC, that time is really the hard time to me. And then that club hometown is the Punjab, and Punjab is a city name. And then before the club is a Shillong, really different culture. That's why it was a really hard time to me. And then I didn't accept the daily life, I don't know, Punjab life. That's why I got a little sick. And I was missing the Japan. I was missing the Ceylon legend. Yeah.
What was your favorite Indian food?
Um. No, I don't have the favorite
You,
food in India because every food is curry taste.
mm, and you don't like curry?
Yeah. Too much.
Too much, too much. What
Eh,
would be your favorite? Your favorite if you were in India, which you recently were, what would be that number one thing that you wanted that was an Indian dish?
Um. No, because every food is really spicy.
Oh, you don't like the spice.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of Japanese food over there?
No, not like that.
No.
That's why we cannot eat the spicy food.
Mm. Oh, obviously, because you're a player. So, what did you eat? Was it pizza?
No pizza. There's sometimes pasta, sometimes salad, sometimes rice,
Okay.
sometimes just chicken. Yeah.
That is, as a footballer, that is quite a boring thing. Chicken and rice. Is that something that you personally enjoy, or do you just eat it because you have to?
Yeah. So the club prepared to me the different menu.
How would you say your time was in this second club in India?
The left, you mean the left, right?
Yeah.
Left the second club, right? So I didn't. Also, second club. Also, I didn't get the time because
Mm,
I got a little sick during the season,
okay.
and then this point is also the little funny. So when I play in the Derrius, I'm in the second club in India. So already I wanted to back the Sri Lanka again. I'm in the first club in India. At this point, it's really funny. I already understand. Everyone told me so. Hey, why you? That's why you left the before the club. Yeah.
You only played 18% of the minutes that you could have played. So again, you said that you didn't play a lot of time, and you didn't. I think you played 7 games and you got 2 goals, but you got
Mhm.
1 yellow card as well. So how would you sum up that time in the second club in India? Because 2 goals in 7 games isn't bad for a striker so young.
Yeah, I make sure that the first I mean the first round, and I make sure I showed a good performance as with the Sri Lanka. But I mean after the transfer, so I spent a little hard time with the Delhi FC. Yeah.
And you got sixth in the table, so you were sixth out of 13 by the end of this, and you recently left India because obviously the season ended a few months ago, a few weeks ago. Sorry, I believe this club were new into this division, and they finished sixth. So going into the season, was the aim to finish sixth, or was the aim to probably not get relegated?
You mean why I decided to leave the second club in India?
We'll talk about that after. But when you were at the second club in India, you finished sixth. You finished
Yeah.
six out of 13. Why was that so not praised? Were you expected to finish sixth?
Um, that point is I don't know because I'm just player, but
Mhm.
the coach, the boss decided. Yeah.
So why did you decide to leave the second club?
And so this point is really uh, deeply problem, but the second club always decided the boss, the president before the game every time say this we need to play this system, this players put on this position. So I was like the complaint to the body. It was like it's not a football, That's why. So I wanted to leave that club, and then I decided to leave. Yeah.
And what's next for you then? I mean, the European season has just come to an end. Would Europe be on the cards? What's realistic going in to the new seasons?
I mean, you mean the next season?
Hmm.
And then now I'm waiting for the next transfer window in the Asia.
Hmm.
So my target is again I want to back the Ceylon Lajon or another Indian club or maybe in Asia. Oh yeah, but I want to play the Asia club.
You wouldn't want to go to a new country? I mean, you mentioned just there India. Sorry, yeah, India and Indonesia. You wouldn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. You wouldn't want to go to somewhere that you haven't been before.
If I have a chance, of course, obviously I want to go. But
Hmm.
first of all, so I want to say sorry. I mean for the Ceylon Lajon fans.
Mm.
That's why. So and yeah.
Let's talk about you personally now. I mean, in the past, you've been told that you could become one of the best players in Asia. You've been touted that you're one of the most promising Japanese talents that is currently available in Japanese football. Do you know what people are saying about you? Because those are quite big things to have on your shoulders.
So somebody say like that, but my career is not perfect, and I already understand. But still, I'm young. I mean, 21 years old, and I can be anything, whatever I want. Yeah, that's why so I make sure.
Who is your favorite Japanese player in the first team?
Fat team in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Is it Minamino? Is he your favorite footballer?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
mean that like a national player?
yeah, yeah.
So, but he's a different position to me. But
Mhm.
Endo Watalu, as you
Yes,
know,
yes, of course,
like
of course.
obviously he's the best player.
Because he plays for Liverpool.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, what did you make of it when he decided? Because obviously he was in Germany, wasn't he, playing in the Bundesliga? He decided
Hmm.
to move to Liverpool. What did
Mm,
you expect out of him? Because me being a Liverpool fan, I didn't
yeah.
understand who he was. I didn't know what he would be like, and to be honest, I thought he wouldn't be amazing. But it
Mm,
turned out by the end of the season, he was actually quite a good player for us.
mhm,
Did you expect him to become so good at Liverpool, despite being
mm,
31 years old?
mm. So obviously he showed for the Japanese the young player.
Mhm.
So the age is just number. So yeah.
But that could be you, right? That could be you in a few years. To be at the top game, where do you want to
Mhm.
be when you retire? I mean, you've still got 15 years of football left. What would you want to have achieved? I mean, obviously Champions League, a Premier League, but realistically, for your ability, for where your potential lies, is that in England? Is that in Europe, or would that just be you want to stay in Asia and be the best player to be in Asia?
Me.
Hmm.
So fortunately, I don't want to back Europe again. So my target is I want to play the ACL, Asia Champions League, like the Champions League, and
Hmm.
then yeah, and then
Would you
yeah.
say that that's possible? Because you've gone to a few countries now. At the age you're just 21 now. You've played in a few countries. You've won a league title. That is becoming quite a realistic option, right? Where your CV is starting to be built on. I'm a champ.
Mhm.
I'm not a champion. I'm a winner of a certain division. I'm a top scorer for this club. But that's starting to build. And do you think you're in a good position at the age of 21?
Mhm. Um, Obviously, I'm still not that satisfied for my football career. So, and then I make sure getting well. I'm getting better than now, more than now. So, yeah. And I want to move more bigger club more than now. Yeah.
How are you improving now? So obviously you decided to leave India. You're now back in Japan. What are you doing day to day in this post season where the season's finished? There's a few months before you go back to training and finding a new club. Are you training currently, or are you just relaxing with family and friends?
Of course, I training hard every day, but without football time, without training time, so every football player need to spend the family, like friends. Yeah.
What club do you support? Is it Liverpool?
Me,
Yeah,
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. So from their perspective, from a player's perspective, looking at Real Madrid, obviously they're in the Champions League, aren't they? This week. What would you expect to see from their team? Because obviously there's no Japanese players in there. So what would you expect to see from a player's point of view who would be in someone like Jude Bellingham's shoes, or I don't know, their striker Gilles? What would you expect to see from Real Madrid in this Champions League final as a player's perspective?
Um, which club they will play against?
Dortmund.
Obviously they will win. I think.
Simple as that. You don't think Dortmund even have a chance?
Yeah, I believe them. Yeah.
Okay. So, am I right in saying you were part of the Japanese teams to play in the under 16s, under 17s, and under 19s?
Hmm.
So, you played in the Japanese national teams at that
Hmm.
age. What did you learn from these opportunities that you got given to play for your country?
Um, Before the youth team, I already was thinking like someday I want to play the another country. I mean the front of Japan, out of Japan. That's why. So always I wanted to play the another country. Yeah, that's why I decided.
But did you play in the Japanese youth teams, in the national team for the youth?
No.
No, you didn't. Okay. Let's talk about that though, because the you're in the selection to be selected for the Japanese national team, right? You are a Japanese player, you're 21 years old. They could call you up. So let's talk about Japan and what the future lies in Japan. Do you see yourself being called up for Japan?
No.
Never?
No.
Why?
Oh, what do you mean?
You know, for like Minamino, Endo, they're playing for Japan.
Uh-huh.
Would that be you one day?
Maybe yeah. So every time, yeah, I didn't understand what you say. So, but so the someday, so top quality Japanese player, 100% will come back to the Japanese league. That's why. So I believe him. I believe them.
No, you. Do you think you'll be a Japanese national team player?
Me,
Hmm.
of course I want, but I already understand it to the long way from now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
To become Minamino, to become Endo, to be that Japanese sensation, do you have to play in Europe? Do you have to play in the top division in the world to be able to go ahead and be called up?
Yeah, of course, I understand if I want to become a national team, I mean a Japanese national team player. But for instance, so I don't want to back in Europe again. That's why. So
But
I yeah.
why don't you want to play in Europe again?
So this point is a little difficult, but if I want to play the Europe again, I mean the high quality league, so I need to spend everything for the football. So that's why. So I don't want to become a football machine. That's why. So also I want to take a football is also I want to the care about like a family, like my future, my friends is also. That's why. So I want to play the Asian again. Yeah.
What would you say is your best attributes as a striker? Would it be? I mean, obviously finishing. Is it your strength? Do you have speed? Do you have skill?
In the world.
You do you have pace? Are you fast? Are you strong? Are you?
Um. Obviously, my strong point is running through behind the space. I have a the speed. That's why. Yeah.
What's the best feeling that you've had so far playing professional football?
Need to speed.
Yeah. But when you're playing in Mongolia, when you've played in Indonesia, you played in Japan. What has been the best memories that you've had? The best achievements that you had?
Um, I want to explain about my best friends. Obviously, the Hasi from Australia and Ireland.
Hmm.
He's really good friends, and he also didn't get the playtime
Hmm.
in the during the season, but he always talked to me. So hey, Takuto, you need to patient. You're still young. Hey, let's go. Let's hang out. Let's go somewhere. Let's go dinner. He was every time care about me. Without him, so I already retired football. I think,
Mm.
yeah, that's why. So I want to say thank you for him
What's your message to your social media followers, to your fans, for this upcoming season? What would you want to say to them?
for the next season.
Hmm.
I'm not satisfied in my football career. I make sure I can be more. I can
Hmm.
be more stronger, and I showed more good performance, more great performance. I make sure that's why so be me and the way me. Yeah, yeah.
Could you do us a Japanese? Could you speak in Japanese, like your message? So there's nothing that's incorrect. Just what's your message to the fans who follow your social media, who follow you in Indonesia, in India, in Croatia, in Mongolia? What would you want to say to them? Because this is the perfect opportunity. You could say it in Japanese.
And then can I use the Japanese?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And私は来シーズンどこでプレーするかわかりませんが、私は、素晴らしいプレーをすることを、えー覚悟しています。なので、待っていてください。よろしくお願いします。Yeah.
What did you say?
So, same things.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. Still, I don't know which club I will play for the next season, but I'm ready to play to back to the exciting field again. That's
Hmm.
why. So, believe me, that's why, believe me, I'll show what I can do. Yeah. See you on the stadium. Yeah.
Takuto, it's been about an hour talking to you about your career from Japan, just at
Mhm.
the young age, growing up in Japan, playing Croatia, Mongolia, Indonesia, and winning league titles. I thank you for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.